come to your, and this is my husband Chandler here, so we'll both be doing the practice on the video today. So in a comfortable cross-legged position, cross at the midpoint of your shins. And once you cross at the midpoint of your shins, I want you to simply walk your hands out in front of you. Let your head hang, and you might choose to press your palms down into the floor, or maybe press your fingertips down and lift your palms up. Notice how that changes the stretch if you do choose to lift the palms up off the floor. How it changes the stretch in the shoulders. Press back with the sits bones, the hips, and notice your breath. Beautiful. Now walk the hands back in towards the torso. Switch which leg is in front. Cross again at the midpoint of the shins. And again, walk the hands back out. And if you chose to take the palms up or down, you might do that same thing, or you might choose the other position. If that sounds better for you this morning. Notice your in-breaths and out-breaths. Through the nose if you're able. And now walk it back up to center. And if you're sitting the funky way for the crossing of your legs, you might switch back to a regular easy pose here. We'll have our hands rest on our knees and let the eyes close. Start with some small movement in the cervical spine, the neck. You can start by dipping your chin towards your chest and then lifting your chin up towards the ceiling. Not cranking anything, just very gentle movements here. Lifting and lowering. And then pause in the center and begin to turn your head to the left and the right now. Again, just small movements. And then pause one more time in the center. And we'll start to take neck circles. If this is too much for your neck, you can take half circles side to side, or again, come back to the lifting and lowering or looking side to side. Just really pay attention to where you feel this. Pay attention to your breath and linking your breath to the movement. And switch directions. And now come back to center. Inhale, lift both arms up overhead. Exhale, twist to the right. Left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you. Lengthen the spine, gaze over the right shoulder. Breathe. Exhale. And inhale, lift the arms back up. And exhale, twist to the other side. Right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you as a prop. Gaze past the left shoulder and use your breath. Inhale for length. Exhale, maybe ease into the pose a little more. One more inhale and exhale here. And then we'll inhale, come back to center, lift the arms and gaze. And exhale, bring the hands to the center of the chest, one hand on top, one hand below. Let the eyes close. And we're going to bring a mantra to our mind's eye right now. And it will be our focus throughout the class. This affirmation or mantra is, peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. So throughout our entire practice this morning, we want to cultivate this sense of peace. Bring the hands to the knees, and we're going to start to inhale, come forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. This is called the Sufi grind. It will start to open up the hips, open up the torso. We'll do one more circle in this direction. And once you complete, other direction. Inhale forward, exhale back, inhale forward, and exhale back. Do about 2 more. And after your second circle here, go ahead and come to the center. Cross the ankles, plant the hands, come onto the hands and knees. You want the shoulders directly over the wrists, hips directly over the knees. Inhale, lift your chin, look up. Exhale, round the spine, gaze towards your navel. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. And exhale, round. Really exaggerate this cat-cow motion. 2 more like this. Inhale, look up, drop the belly. Exhale, round, tuck the chin. 1 more, lower the belly, look up, really exaggerate the movement. And exhale, round. Very nice. Come back to a neutral spine. Gaze is straight down at the floor. Extend the right leg behind you. Flex the right toes. And now extend the left arm in front of you. The palm faces the right side of your mat. Breathe here, stretch. And now exhale, bring the elbow and knee to touch. Inhale, extend long. Exhale, touch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, touch. And inhale, reach. Keep reaching, bend your back knee. Maybe reach back and grab your foot or ankle. And if you can't, you just keep reaching. If you do have a hold of your foot, look up, kick. And exhale, release. Bring your hand back down to the floor, right knee down to the floor. We'll move into gate pose from here. So plant the right foot in line with the left knee. Rise up. Inhale, reach up and over to the right side. Avoid placing that right hand on your knee. Press down with the right foot and press the left hip towards the left side of the room. Nice. Now we'll sweep the arms down and come to a gated child's pose. Keep pressing down with the right foot. You might even take the left knee to the left top diagonal of the room a little more. Send your breath to any place that feels tight on the inside of your right thigh, groin area. Good, and come back up onto hands and pull that right knee in. We'll go to the other side. Left leg behind, flex the toes, cores engage, your ribs are knit together, so the ribs are touching. And then extend the right arm in front of you, palm faces the left side of your mat. Very good, feeling solid and strong. Exhale, elbow and knee touch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, we come together and extend. 1 more time, here, and then reach, reach, reach. Bend your back knee for tiger pose. Extend the right arm. Maybe grab your foot, kick and look up. Maybe keep reaching and breathing. Make the practice your own. Very nice. Now slowly release your hand, your foot. We'll come right into that gate pose. So plant the left foot in line with the right knee and then rise on up and reach up and over to the left side. Bump your right hip out to the right. Breathe. And then sweep the arms down for a gated child's pose. Sink the hips back. Stretch the arms forward. Let it feel nice. Press down with the left big toe for a little more intensity. Good, now come back up, hands and knees. Hug the left knee back in or bring it back in. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. First down dog of the day. First down dog of the day is really nice. Diagnostic, check in with yourself. See how you're doing. Bend the knees. Maybe lift the heels, roll the ankles. Sometimes though it's nice to simply arrive in your down dog and be still. So notice what your body needs this morning or from here, I want you to really bend your knees. I'll turn to the side so you can see this. Really bend your knees and then press up and back with your hips, trying eventually to get the crown of your head to the floor and a stretch in the shoulders and upper back is what we're going for. You might bounce a few times. Just feeling your down dog another way. Kind of like you're revving up your dog. Good, and then let the hips lift, let the heels fall. Walk your hands to the back of the mat. Bend the knees, grab opposite elbows. Shake your head yes, and shake your head no. And then maybe sway side to side, ragdoll pose. That gentle bend in the knees helps alleviate low back pain if you have to sit in a desk throughout your day. Now, on your next exhale, let the hands drop to the floor. Bend the left knee, left hand to the center of your feet. Extend the right arm up. And you might stay here, or maybe bring that top hand to the left hip pocket, taking a twist. Roll the right shoulder up, gaze up, deep inhale through the nose. And exhale, HA, out the mouth, just sigh out. Re-extend the right arm. Bring that hand back down to the floor. Straighten the left leg, bend the right knee, lift the left arm up. And you might take the wrap again, bring the left hand to the right hip pocket. Deep inhale through the nose. And exhale, sigh it out, HA. Good, now re-extend the arm. Bring the hand back down to the mat. Walk it out, down dog. From downward facing dog, we'll take a half sun salutation. So inhale, come forward, high plank position. Option to drop onto your knees. Exhale, lower, hover, chaturanga push-up. Elbows graze the ribs. Inhale, up dog, shoulders down away from the ears, gaze is lifted. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. Nice. So if you feel your hips start to lift up really high or drop down really low, or there's any pain in your low back in your down dog, simply drop onto your knees. It will take care of your body in a nice way, and you'll build strength faster. Let's do this one more time though. Inhale, come forward, high plank position. Exhale, lower, hover. Inhale, upward facing dog, gaze up, shoulders down. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Press into the fingertips, especially the pointer and thumb. Very nice. Now gaze up to the hands and take about 5 to 6 steps on the balls of your feet to get to your hands. Just being mindful of each step really is what we're trying to do. Once you get to the top of the mat, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Let your arms wrap around your legs, bend your knees as much as you need to. Give yourself a hug here. And then let your head, the top of your head be heavy, pointing straight down to the ground. No tension. Exhale, release this fold. Rise all the way up. We'll lift our arms and gaze. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart, one on top, one on bottom. Just like before, peace begins with me. Let's start our sun salutations and standing series. Inhale, lift the arms and gaze. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, look out, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back, chaturanga push-up. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Now if down dog's too much for you, you can always drop into child's pose. Same thing with the push-up, you can always skip it. You can simply up dog, down dog. You make the practice work for your body each day. Now gaze to the top of the mat, bend the knees. Take a giant step to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the shins, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way back up. And exhale, hands come down, center of the chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look out, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant hands, step or jump back, chaturanga push-up. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. In our down dog this time, bring your weight into the left hand. Bring the right hand to the outside of the left calf or ankle for a nice little stretch in the shoulder. Gaze underneath the left arm. And now we'll switch. Right hand down, left hand to the right calf or ankle. Gaze underneath the right arm. Breathe. And exhale, release the twist. Walk your hands to the back of your mat. Take your feet as wide as your mat for Malasana Yogi Squat Garland Pose. So it doesn't matter if your heels are lifted here, that's pretty normal. Do what you need to for your body. So if you're feeling unsteady, fingertips on the ground is a great option. If you feel okay, hands to the low back. Most importantly here is we don't want our spine to be rounding in this version. We really want to lengthen the spine. Good, and now we'll move into the rounded back version. So tuck your chin, reach your arms forward, maybe fingertips down. And we're going to move into a cat-cow sort of motion in our Malasana. So inhale, lengthen your spine, hands to the chest. And exhale, move into this rounded version of Malasana. Inhale, hands into the chest, lengthen your spine. And exhale, round forward, tuck the chin. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, round. And then keeping that round in your spine, just walk out to your down dog. Inhale. And exhale, bend the knees. This time, if you'd like, you might try a little hop to your hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to the center of the chest. One more time like this. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hand, step or jump, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. So we're going to build on what we started last time with our twist. Press down with the left hand. Right hand again will reach for the left calf or ankle. And then you might start to hover the right toes off the ground. And if you're like, I don't want to try this balance, Alyssa, don't do it. If the stretch is feeling good, feel free. The trick to this balance is gazing straight down at the mat and pressing down with the left foot and hand. Slowly release. Other side. So first, left hand to the right calf or ankle, and then gaze straight down at your mat rather than looking underneath your right arm. And then start to lessen the weight in the left foot. Maybe lift that leg up. As high as is good for your body this morning. And sometimes our bodies don't need it. Nice. Release back to the down dog. Bend your knees. Make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to the center of the chest. From here, we're going to inhale, open twist to the right. So right arm behind, left arm in front. Try to keep your hips facing forward on your mat. Good. And now, inhale, chair pose. Exhale, twist to the left, left arm back, right arm forward. Gaze to your back hand. Inhale, chair pose. One more time each side. Exhale, twist to the right as you straighten your legs, hips forward. Inhale, chair. And exhale, twist to the left, hip bones stay forward, gazes back. And inhale, back to chair. This time, exhale, fold, interlace fingers behind your back. Let your arms fall away from your torso. Bend your knees as much as you need to here. And again, shake your head, yes, no. Release tension in the neck, the shoulders. Good. Plant hands on the floor. Inhale, halfway lift to the shins. And exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now step the right foot between the hands, drop onto your back knee. Low lunge to start warming up our hips, our legs for our sequence today. So interlace fingers on the top of the thigh if that feels good, and then press yourself away from your thigh. Maybe lift your gaze or simply look at a spot that's not moving. Breathe in and out through the nose. And now we'll straighten the front leg, flex the right toes as you straighten, and simply search for sensation in our half splits. And I promise Chandler and I don't have the corona. We have allergies here in Utah. All the pollen's just kicked up this week. And then for a little bit more sensation, you might maintain that flex in the right foot and then turn it towards the right long edge of your mat. Just notice the difference in the stretch. If you don't notice one and you like the other position, feel free to go back. This is your practice. Okay, now turn your toes back up towards the ceiling. Plant the right foot, walk your hands back forward. Tuck the back toes under, lift your back knee. Left hand stays down, lift the right arm up for a twist. So good. Very nice. Now both hands down to the mat. High to low push-up, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Remember, those push-ups are always optional. And exhale to down dog. Now step the left foot between the hands, drop onto the right knee, low lunge, interlace fingers, top of the thigh, create space. Let the right hip sink down to the floor. Sometimes when we're stressed, our hips or our shoulders or our neck, somewhere in our body that stress gets stored. So as we move and breathe in yoga, we are able to break up that tension and become our own healers of our body and our stress and whatever we're taking on. So that piece begins with me affirmation is very applicable here. Now hands down, straighten the front leg, half splits, flex the toes. And for some people, they feel this stretch better sitting back all the way onto their back heel. For me personally, I like to stay a little lifted. And I will turn the left toes, maintaining that flex to the left. Notice if it changes the stretch for you. Now turn your toes back up towards the ceiling. Plant the left foot, right hand to the inside of the left foot. Tuck the back toes, pick up the back knee, lift the left arm up, twist. And exhale, plant the left hand down, step the left foot back, high to low push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Linking our breath with some of these bigger movements in our sun salutation B variation this morning. 2 more breaths here in down dog. And bend your knees, look forward, hop, take a step or 2 up to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, rise up, chair pose. Exhale, twist to the right as you straighten the legs. Inhale, up to chair. Exhale, twist to the left as you straighten the legs. 2 more times, 1 to each side. Inhale, up. And exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, reach. And exhale, twist to the left. This time we'll inhale, reach. And exhale, fold forward, interlace fingers behind the back, knuckles fall away from the torso. Let all that tension roll off your shoulders here. And exhale, hands to the floor, and then to the shins, halfway lift. Plant, hand, step or jump back, chaturanga push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Down dog, lift the right leg up. Bend the right knee, let the right heel fall towards the left hip. And now take some knee circles with the right knee, opening up your hip joint. If you prefer to keep your legs straight and make these circles, do it. Switch directions now. And then extend your right leg straight and long behind you. Step the right foot between the hands. Rise up, high lunge. Extend the arms. Now, just like our chair pose, keep your legs as they are, just right arm back, left arm forward, twist. And now, keep your twist, just bring the left hand to the inside of the right foot, reach the right arm up. Very good. Walk both hands to the back your mat. Bend the left knee for Skandasana. As you come into this first Skandasana, the back heel might be lifted. If you're limited on mobility, stay lifted. Your forearm to the thigh. If you can, option to take the bind, left arm down, right arm up to the diagonal. Maybe reach behind your back. Whatever variation you're choosing, make sure you feel good in your body and you can breathe. Wherever you are, slowly release the pose. Walk yourself back to the top of the mat. Step it back, high to low push-up. Up dog. And down dog. And now we'll do it on the other side. Balance out our bodies. Lift the left leg, bend the left knee. Let the left heel fall towards the right hip. And start to make those knee circles. Just noticing how your hip is doing. Are there any creaky spots, tight spots? Other direction. Nice. Now extend the left leg long. Step the foot between the hands. Rise up, high lunge. Just like our chair pose, left arm back, right arm forward. Gaze to the back hand. Breathe. Keep your body as it is. Just bring the right hand to the inside of the left foot and then gaze up to the left hand. Very good. Now bring that top hand down too. Walk both hands to the back of your mat. You can stay a little lifted here in your Skandasana. Right forearm to the thigh, left foot planted. Or maybe take a deeper bend in that knee. Turn the left toes up towards the ceiling. Hands supporting you, maybe bound. Making it your practice this morning. Very nice. Now walk your hands back to center, lift your hips up. We'll move right into Prostrate Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant hands, and try to walk your hands in line with your heels if you're able. If this is really difficult, take your feet wider. It will make it easier. If it's a little too easy and your head's on the ground and you're kind of like curving in your spine, bring your feet closer together so you have more room to grow here. Gaze to the wall in front of your face, reaching the crown of the head straight down. And then engage the quadriceps, your thighs, to access more mobility and flexibility in the back sides of the legs, the hamstrings. Very nice. We'll inhale, halfway lift. Engage the core, Uddiyana Bandha, hands to the hips. Press down through the big toes, rise all the way up. Now we'll hug our elbows back. Like if we didn't have shoulders, they could touch. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, refold into the pose. So really using your core to pull you here. We don't have the hands helping us. We only have our legs and our core really activating this stretch. So elbows back, crown of the head down, legs engaged, feet active. Breathe. Good, pressing down through the big toes, core is engaged and supporting you. Rise all the way back up. And exhale, step or hop, top of the mat. Samastihiti, hands down by your sides. Good. Inhale, lift your arms up. A little bit different this time. We're going to take our feet hip distance apart. Right hand will grab the left wrist. Reach up and over to the right side of the room as you push your hips to the left side. Stay like this, or maybe bring that right hand and slide it down the right leg. Good, and then keep reaching until you're all the way folded and both hands are off the right side of your mat, and then gently lean your hips towards the left long side of your mat. You might even be able to access the stretch in the IT band or even the outside of the left shoulder. Good, now come back to center, bend the knees, and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Once you're lifted, lift the arms and gaze. Left hand will grab the right wrist. Reach up and over to the left. Bump your hips to the right. Breathe. And on your next exhale, let the left hand travel down your leg. And then we'll come all the way down and through. Bring the fingertips to the left side of your mat. Try to bump your hips to the right side so you can feel a stretch in the IT band maybe. And if you reach the right fingertips really over to the left side of the mat, you may even be able to access a little bit of a stretch in the right shoulder, armpit region, which is really good for the lymphatic system. Good, and now come back to center, bend the knees, and roll up one vertebrae at a time. This time we'll lift our arms up, exhale, cactus the elbows, lift the chest, and then lift the chin. Maybe even open the jaw or the mouth and wiggle the jaw. Relax. Oh, it feels so good. Okay, now exhale, let the arms sweep back behind you. And then bring the palms down to the floor. We'll try our first arm balance here, Bakasana. Don't worry if you're not arm balancing yet. Just do your best. Spread your fingers wide like starfish. Really grip the floor. And I'll let Chandler do it as I walk you through. He's bringing his knees to the arms, and then he's looking forward, not behind him. If you look behind, you're more apt to somersault. As he gazes forward, he might try to start to lift one foot and then the other. Uddiyana Bandha, the core is really engaged here. If you're comfortable, big toes touch, you don't have to do the press up, but that's really cool. Now, wherever you are, feet down or step or jump back. Chaturanga push up. Up dog. Down dog. Lift the right leg up. This time we'll bend the right knee. And you can do the knee circles like we did before, but if you're, loving yourself a wild thing, flip your dog, step the right foot off the left edge of your mat, reach your arm up overhead, feel a nice stretch in the front side of the body, and come back around. Right leg will lift, step the right foot between the hands, rise up, high lunge, back heels lifted, exhale, twist, right arm back, left arm forward. And now from here, we're going to pivot and plant the back heel down as we windmill the arms around and move to a reverse warrior. And now come up to warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Reach far forward and down. Triangle pose. Right hand to the shin, or maybe grab the big toe. So this is a Vinyasa style triangle, creating a triangle shape with the body. Gaze up to the left hand. Breathe through the nose. Exhale, both hands down either side of the front foot. Take a small step forward and fold, pyramid pose. You can put blocks underneath your hands here. You can also bend the front knee if you need to. Another option is, for some people, it feels nice to lift the front toes and the back heel, or maybe rock forward and back that way. Whatever feels best for your body and your hamstrings to open up here, that's what you should do. You're your own best teacher. You know your body. Good. Now plant both hands, step it back, high to low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift the left leg up, bend your knee, and if you're loving those hip circles, do it. If you're itching for a wild thing, flip your dog, step the left foot off the right edge of your mat, lift your hips, extend the left arm, breathe and reach, create space. Come back around, three-legged down dog, the left leg is lifted. Step the left foot between the hands, high lunge first, and then we open and twist. Left hand back, right arm forward. And now, just like before, we're going to open up to reverse warrior. Pivot and plant the back heel down as the right hand comes back, left arm up and over. Maintain the bend in your front knee. And warrior two, staying strong. Press into the left foot as you straighten that leg. Reach far forward and down, Vinyasa style triangle. Left hand to the shin, right arm up. or left peace fingers around the big toe. Gaze towards the lifted hand. Exhale, both hands down on either side of the front foot. Take a micro step forward to square off your hips. And then exhale, fold. Gaze to your back knee. Maybe hands on blocks on your shin or bend the knee. Maybe like before, lifting the front toes or back heel. Make the posture work for you. And exhale, step it back, find a low push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Walk your hands to the back of the mat. Peace fingers and thumbs will wrap around your big toes. Padagustasana. Feet are hip distance apart. Perfect measurement is 2 fists between your big toes. Then you know, hey, I've got my perfect measurement. Now bend your knees if you need to start. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. If you can, you'll start to, as you fold, pull on your toes, bend your elbows out to opposite sides of the room. And then if your body will let you in, start to lift the hips, straighten the legs, and pull yourself together. Nose between the knees one day. But notice your breath. Your breath will tell you if you've gone too far in a pose because you'll be holding your breath. And if that's the case, you just come back to the breath, cultivate it again, and try the posture again. The breath is the best tool in our yoga practice, our best friend in life, truly. Good, and then exhale, release, walk it back out, downward facing dog. From down dog, drop onto the forearms for dolphin pose. You want your wrists right in front of your elbows, and then walk your feet closer to the elbows. Maybe bend your knees a lot here. Breathe and stay. If you know Pinchamayurasana, forearms down, feel free to take it. I'll let Chandler do all the fancy stuff today. He's lifting one leg and then the other, maybe lifting up to Pincha. But don't worry, even if you're staying down like I am right now, you're really creating space between your shoulder blades. So that spot between your shoulder blades isn't dipping in, it's actually rounding a little bit. And truly, Pinchamayurasana is a little bit easier than holding this dolphin pose. So if you're not in the full pose yet, know that you're doing the work to get there. For 3, 2, let's press it back. Child's pose. Fingers forward, forehead touches. And then we'll rise up onto our hands and knees. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Gaze up and exhale, thread the needle, right hand off the left side of the mat. Palm faces up and then left hand forward. You can keep your hips lifted or maybe drop them down. Another option is to bring the right hand to the, or left hand rather, to the right top corner of the mat. Truly any version of a thread the needle that feels good for your body is awesome. Now bring the left hand back in, plant your hand, press up and extend the right arm, watch it lift, and then watch it come down to the mat. We'll take it to the other side. So left arm will reach up, gaze up, and exhale, watch it as it slides on through, palm faces up. Right hand to the top of the mat. Maybe walk your right hand to the left corner and your hips can stay lifted or pressed down, and you're really in control of the stretch in your left shoulder. So do what you need to make it feel good. And plant the right hand back in. As you press into that hand, watch the left arm reach back up. And exhale, bring that hand back down to the mat. Very good. Now from here, tuck the toes, lift your hips, down dog. And we're going to walk or jump through to a seated position. So I'll let Chandler jump through and I'll walk through just so you can see both versions. Walking or jumping. And once we're all the way through, plant your feet in front of you, hip distance apart. Plant your hands behind you, about 6 inches. We're going to move to a tabletop pose, But our tabletop is going to be a little more dynamic this morning. We're going to use it as a tool to activate our core. So don't worry about dropping your head all the way back if you're used to that. We'll inhale, lift our hips up and gaze straight up at the ceiling, neck lock, not relaxed. Exhale, swing your hips back between your hands. Hover your bum. Good. Inhale, lift up, gaze straight up at the ceiling, and exhale, swing it back. Bums lifted. Good. Inhale up, and exhale back. 2 more after this. So we're not just strengthening our core, we're also stretching the front side of the chest, even the hips, and back. 1 more time. Up, and exhale, back. Very good. Come all the way down to a seated position. Hug your right knee in. Cross the right foot over the left thigh. Right hand behind you as a kickstand. Flex the left toes, left arm will lift. And exhale, hook the left elbow, twist. And if you like to get a little fancy, you can bring the left hand through that triangle of your leg. Right hand across your low back for a bind. And if you want to get super fancy in your bound, you can straighten that right leg. All just options. Slowly release. And we'll, this time, do another little core exercise. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this. I'll have Chan stay his regular way. We're going to lift our legs straight up over our hips. We're targeting our low belly. And our hands will come up, and we're simply going to reach up for our toes. Now, if you're very flexible in your legs, don't try to bring your, I could bring my toes closer to my face if I wanted and be like, oh, this is great. Really try to keep them right over the hips. And maybe you don't touch them, that's okay. Pull the low belly in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now take a breath. Peace begins with me. And we're going to go side to side. Right hand maybe tap the outside of the left foot. Left to right, right to left. Just reaching for our little toes. Really noticing that core activation, the low belly. Noticing your breath. Let it be steady. Allow yourself to feel strong. And reach up for your toes. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Give yourself a hug here. Make small circles with your knees, which will massage your low back just naturally on the floor. And then move your knees the other direction. And now take a little rock up to seated again. And once you're seated, right leg straight up, hug your left knee in, plant that left foot across the right thigh. Left hand behind you like a kickstand, flex the right toes. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Exhale, hook the elbow. Gaze back behind you. And again, you can stay here, really getting into this twist. If you want to, be a little fancy this morning, right hand through that triangle. Maybe take a bind, and if you'd like, extend the leg. Gaze back, breathe. Exhale, release the twist wherever you are. And then hug your knees into your chest. Cross the ankles, plant the hands, high to low push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. So after all that core work, let's try our Panchamayurasana again. So come back onto your forearms for dolphin pose. Once our core's, truly all inversions, the motion is controlled by the core. When I first started doing them, I thought I needed strong arms, but once I learned how to access my core strength, they became a lot easier. So try your version of dolphin or Panchamayurasana now. See if you can notice a difference. And if you're not quite in Panchamayurasana yet, why not try a headstand if that's in your practice, or move to the wall. So I'll take a headstand just to show. You might even just Bring your arms down, lift one leg, maybe bowl. And if you really want to start to play around, you can even move from headstand to Pinch Mayurasana. But that's just for fun. If your body's letting you in. Let's all meet in a child's pose. You can bring the thighs together, or if you'd like more of an inner groin stretch, like that gated child's pose, take your knees out wide, maybe even wider than your mat. Come back to your breath in your child's pose. Now plant your hands, tuck your toes, lift your hips, down dog. From down dog, lift the right leg up overhead, or behind you rather, not overhead. Sometimes we say the silliest things. Now pull your knee through and down for pigeon. We've done a lot of twisting this morning and we're going to keep that theme. So you have some options here. Either if you're like, no sister, I love my pigeon, I'm just gonna lie down, do it. If you'd like to maintain the twisting thing though, plant your right elbow in line with the left knee, bring your hands to a prayer position, gaze up. Another option, and I'll turn to the side so you can do this, is to start here, or maybe rest your cheek on your hand and then left hand behind you. A third option, if your hips are very flexible, is to bring the left heel in line with the right knee, and then maybe bring your armpit into the right foot, resting your cheek on your hand and left hand across the low back to the right hip pocket. Wherever you are is perfect. Just breathe. Go ahead and exhale, release. I'll stay here to the side so you can see the next version of the pose. You can stay in regular pigeon or maybe start to move into a king pigeon, one-legged king pigeon. First start by bending your back knee. Make sure that knee's pointing straight down. Reach back for your foot. You can use a strap here too. Those are very helpful. First place though, pull the left heel towards the glute. Really stretching the quad. Feels so good. If you have it in your practice, you can move to mermaid pose. Hook the foot in your elbow. Or like Chandler, he's staying in pigeon. It's called listening to your body. Sometimes you don't need all the variations. You just need to listen to your body, your breath. It's a beautiful thing. Wherever you are, release the pose. Sit onto the right hip. Swing the left leg around for Ardha Matsyendrasana. Left hand behind you, right arm up. Exhale, twist. Hook your elbow, gaze back. Breathe. And untwist. As we untwist, we'll just move to the right side for a moment. And then come up through center. From here, stack your knees for cow facing pose, Gomukhasana. Don't worry too much if your knees have like some space. All that tells me is you've been really active and have some tight hips, and that's a good thing. I mean, basketball, hiking, any sort of activity can create this. Now with the left leg on top, bring the left arm on bottom. We're going to take eagle arms here. First place, grab opposite shoulders. If you can, cross at the elbows and then again at the wrist, or press the backs of the hands together. Inhale, lift your shoulders and notice where you feel the stretch between the shoulder blades. You might even close your eyes to really focus your attention to that inner part of yourself, the shoulder blades, the neck, any place that is feeling a stretch here. And then tuck your elbows in towards your chest and maybe keep your eyes closed as you notice how the stretch changes as you tuck the chin and really hug the elbows in. Very nice. Release the eagle arms. Simply walk your hands forward and stretch. If you prefer to take Gomukhasana on your back, this is a really great option. Grab opposite ankles, flex the feet, and you can control how much depth you have on your back. Beautiful. Slowly release the pose as we rise up. We'll bring the soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. Open your feet like a book. So thumbs on the bottoms, fingers across the tops. Lengthen your spine. Lead out with your sternum, your chin, your chest. Start to lean forward. You want a flat back for this first one. Press your elbows into your thighs, calves, shins, wherever you can touch. And maybe if you're very flexible and your body lets you in this morning, chin touches the floor, but there's no goal. We have our entire lives to practice yoga. Very nice. Now slowly rise up. And we'll move into pigeon pose on the other side. So left leg forward, right leg back. Right knee points straight down on the floor, not turned out to the right side of the mat, just to protect that joint. And again, we'll move into the twist. And if you want to skip the twist, feel free, it's your practice. First place, left elbow in line with the left knee on the right side of the mat. Press your palms together to stretch the shoulders, the chest. And if you want a little bit more, you can rest your cheek in your hand, or maybe even bring the armpit to the sole of the left foot as you rest your cheek in your hand. Right hand across the low back to the left hip pocket. Opening up the hips, the chest, the body, the mind. Beautiful. Slowly release the twist. You might bring the left heel in a little bit more, and you can refold forward or start to take that one-legged king pigeon variation. And if you know the full pose, feel free to take it. I'm showing modification. So first one is right heel towards the right hip. Breathe. Next one is right foot to the crook of the elbow. Maybe take a bind for a mermaid pose and kick, stretching the shoulders a little more. And exhale, release. From here, sit onto the left hip, swing the right leg around. Plant the right foot on the outside of the left thigh. Right hand behind you like a kickstand, left arm up, inhale. And exhale, let's twist. Hook the left elbow, gaze past the right shoulder, and breathe. Exhale, release the twist. And now we'll stack our knees. So remember, for our Gomukhasana, cow-facing pose, your knees might have some space between them. That's fine. Most important is that you're breathing and you're aware of your knee joints and you're not trying to make something happen there. So we'll take our eagle arms now, right arm underneath. Cross at the elbows, maybe grab opposite shoulders, or if you can, press the backs of the hands together or take the full eagle bind and cross at the wrists too. Now lift your elbows up, close your eyes maybe to really notice where you feel this stretch in your shoulders. Send your breath to the space that you're feeling the stretch, allowing your body to release some of this tension with the tool of your breath. Beautiful. Now tuck the elbows in, round, tuck the chin, and maybe keeping the eyes closed, notice how the stretch changes here. So go ahead and then exhale, release the arms, maybe walk it out for Gomukhasana. Another option, lie on your back, grab opposite ankles, flex the feet a lot, and really, help yourself in the pose, finding that sweet spot, whether you're on your back or upright. Now rise up. This time we'll take Baddha Konasana again, but I want it a little bit wider. So create some space. Either grab your ankles or bring your hands, if you want to get fancy, underneath your calves and hands to the tops of the feet. We're going to really round our spines this time. Last time we were straight, flat, like a pancake. This time, tuck your chin towards your chest. Your head might hover above your heels, or it might touch down as you really round your spine. And then go ahead and rise up. Extend your legs out in front of you. You have two options. We'll move into shoulder stand. If you prefer legs up the wall or waterfall pose, take one of those instead. I'll show you waterfall pose. Chandler will move right into shoulder stand and then I'll explain that one too. Waterfall pose, you simply lift your heels above your hips. We're reversing the flow of blood. You can bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. If you're moving into the full shoulder stand, you want to stack your shoulders, hips, ankles, hands to the low back. Breath is natural. There's no pain or strain on the neck, the cervical spine. If there is, please release the pose. Come to the waterfall posture. I just showed you from our shoulder stand. Let's go ahead and drop our feet beyond our head. I'll turn to the side so you can see this. And your feet might hover in space for Halasana plow pose, or eventually they might touch the floor behind you, beyond your head. But your legs stay active, so no loosey-goosey legs here. Stay active like you mean it, like you mean to be here on your mat. Maybe interlace fingers and bring them to the floor behind you if you don't need them for support. Gaze straight up towards your legs. Avoid looking side to side in this pose. And then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, start to roll down. Onto your mat. We'll take the knees out wide and move into fish pose. Hands underneath the hips. Keep your hips on the floor here. Prop yourself up onto your forearms. Lift your chest. Really exaggerate this lift. Relax your head back. Open the throat. Maybe the top of the head touches the floor. Again, exaggerate that lift in your chest, that opening of the throat. You're opening the heart and throat chakras in this physical posture. Now press down with the arms, the forearms to lift the head up. And exhale, slowly come all the way onto your back. Keep your legs as they are. Bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your chest. Notice your breath. So in our Supta Baddha Konasana, or reclined cobbler's pose, we're going to move into a three-part breathing. And this is a three-part physical breathing exercise or pranayama exercise. Meaning, as you take in each breath through your nose, I want you to feel your breath in three different parts of your body. So inhale, feel the breath in your chest, your diaphragm, that place in your ribs, and maybe in your low belly. And then as you exhale, feel the breath leave the low belly, diaphragm, and chest. Inhale, sip in air, feel the chest expand, the diaphragm, maybe even feel your breath in your low belly. And as you exhale, release the air from your low belly, diaphragm, and chest. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhale, feel the air enter into these 3 spaces of your torso. And exhale, release. One more time. Really try to expand your physical body as you take in air, chest, diaphragm, low belly. And exhale, release from the low belly, diaphragm, chest. Go ahead and extend the arms and legs out. Legs fall out naturally, palms face up. Allow the eyes to close. Final relaxation, Shavasana. As you enter your Shavasana, relax the feet, the ankles, shins, fingers, hands, wrists, forearms, upper arms, and shoulders. Relax your low back, mid back, and upper back. Relax your belly, chest. Your chest feels light and loose, like it's easy to breathe. Relax the back of the neck and the throat. Allow the jaw to soften. Relax the lips, the mouth, the teeth, the tongue, the cheekbones, ears, forehead, eyes, nose, scalp. And now imagine a wave of relaxation starting at your toes and running up your body, bringing a sense of peace and serenity. Imagine that wave running that same way 2 more times. Take a full in-breath through the nose. And exhale. Wiggle the fingers and toes. And then roll onto one side or the other. Tuck the knees in. And press yourself up to a comfortable seated position as you're ready. Once you come to your comfortable seated meditation position, we'll come back to our affirmation at the beginning of class. Peace begins with me, and if you want a longer Shavasana, take it. If you'd like to join me for this practice, we'll use our fingers. Peace, index and thumb, begins, middle and thumb, with ring finger and thumb, me, pinky and thumb. We'll repeat this a few times together. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Peace begins with me. Last one. Peace begins with me. Bring the palms to the center of the chest, Anjali Mudra. My hope for all of us today is, if there are moments that are not peaceful, maybe even to make that motion with our fingers, or at least remember this sliver of peace we have actively cultivated and created on our mats and within ourselves and our hearts today. The light and love in me honors, bows to, and loves the light and love in you. Namaste.